What's up, YouTube? Man, I'm back with another video, back with another daily upload, dog. And today we're gonna talk about shifting our perspective with trauma. Yes, I know a lot of y'all like, ooh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. You're gonna hear about it today. We're gonna talk about some trauma, because a lot of y'all don't like to face y'all trauma. A lot of y'all like to run from y'all trauma. And a lot of y'all is including me, because I would run away from my trauma. I would try to do something else to, like, dang, my bad, battery thing came up, but I would try to run away from my trauma. I try to do like other stuff just to get away from my trauma. But my first point that I'm going to make is that you can't run away from your trauma, because when you run away from your trauma chases you. You know the law of attraction? Whatever you attract, it will come after you, and whatever you chase, it goes away. So think about it like that. If you run away from your trauma, it will chase you. If you face your trauma, it's going to run away, because your trauma is going to be like, hold on, you showing me too much attention. When you don't show your trauma attention, it grows stronger and stronger every time. So would you rather face your trauma and get it over with? Or would you rather keep running away and let it grow? And it's going to be like this big 99 level boss hanging over you. Look at it like that. Like you got to face a level 99 boss or something. Like, you don't want to do that. So I advise that you get that in your head. When you run away from your trauma, it chases you. When you face your trauma head on, it runs away. Remember that. My second point, you gotta let your trauma be your best friend. You can use your trauma as an advantage. See me, I use my trauma in what I do. I use my trauma and I just started doing YouTube, you feel me? I use my trauma when I make music, when I make beats, and I make 5 beats using my trauma. I use my trauma when I meditate to get rid of the trauma. Sometimes you got to use your emotions to get rid of the emotions. Remember, you're a god of your own mind. You control your own mind. You might not can't control reality, but you could control your mind. And through your mind, when you control your mind, it controls your reality. So, hey, think about it like that. Use your trauma as your advantage. If you want to learn a skill, use your trauma. I promise you, using your trauma will make you motivated instantly. I'm talking about at the moment. I'm talking about every time I meditate, before I do something, I think about the trauma. I think about the bad stuff. You got to think about it. You really got to accept it. Using your trauma like with you, you really have to accept it, because when you accept it, it's like you telling it, okay, I'm letting you in as a friend. And then when you befriend your trauma, you can start to observe how your trauma acts. You can start to observe what things triggers your trauma, because your consciousness is raising, because you're letting out a lot of that trauma. While you're letting in the trauma, you're still letting out the trauma. Because remember what I said, when you face that trauma head on, it runs away. So that's when you're facing that trauma head on as a friend. Don't beat yourself up. See, a lot of times we beat ourselves up when we trying to face our own trauma and trying to heal, because we feel like we have to be perfect in the instant. But growth isn't in the instant. Growth takes time. Even though time doesn't exist for real, growth still takes time. You still have to practice. This is literally just practice until we get it down, the basics. So you just have to stay consistent and give yourself grace when you face your trauma. But that was my second point. So my first point is the law of attraction. When you chase your trauma, it runs away. But when you run away from your trauma, it chases after you. Second point, befriend your trauma. Accept your trauma. My third point, you can't let your trauma change your viewpoint of life. See, a lot of times we be in our head and we let our trauma mess up our viewpoint of life. We don't really see the positivity in reality, because we let our trauma get in the way. But you know how big your trauma is compared to what's really in your mind? Like this big. Not even kidding. Like this big. Like the stuff that we see in our mind, I want y'all to just close your eyes and imagine something. And when you imagine something, you see how much like more power it is we have over our trauma. Our trauma is like this big, but we let it take control because we act like we can't change it. But my third point is you have to let change happen. You have to accept change. You can't get rid of your trauma if you don't accept change. How you gonna get rid of it if you don't accept it? Like my second point says, befriend it. You just have to accept the change. You can't question it. Don't question it. See, a lot of times we question a lot of things that happen in our life. Don't question it. Just let it be. You don't have to have a question for everything because you're asking the question the whole time. If you just let go and just let it be, the solution be right in front of you. This is literally how easy life is once you really just sit back and let go. You got to let go of that trauma. You got to let go of them hateful thoughts. You got to let go of that hateful perspective that you give on life. You just have to let go and just build up new perspectives of life. Change them negative perspectives that you gave on people, and I promise you, you can shift into a whole new reality where those people that you thought was like that going to be a whole different like a whole different thing. And I'm seeing it in my reality right now. People are starting to act more nice to me. Like, people are just coming up to me wanting to talk. They act nice. They like being around me, and I don't even talk. It's like I'm becoming magnetic, and I don't even talk. I barely talk to people, and they still want to talk to me. But when I talk, I make it valuable. I'm going to teach all about that. You got to know how to make your talk valuable, rememberable. People to think about it, yeah. But like I was saying, bro, you just have to let go of and accept change. It's going to happen. You're going to change. You manifest this change all the time, and it's going to happen. But the universe is waiting on you to accept it. The universe won't shift your reality if you won't shift your own reality in your mind and accept it. So that's the 3 points I give you to shift your perspective. The law of attraction, use it with your trauma. The second point, become a friend with your trauma. And the third point, shift your perspective of your trauma. Let go. Just live life. Have fun, bro. I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just live a normal life. See, don't let these spiritual niggas fool y'all, bro. They be telling y'all got to do this, y'all got to do that. Y'all don't got to do shit. Just live life. Literally let go of looking at manifest videos and all of that. Just live. You've been doing it all your life. Since you was a baby, since you was born. How you think you here right now? Because you manifested it unconsciously. So just live. You don't have to be no disciplined guru for real, bro. Just live. All right? But hey, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all having a blessed night. I hope y'all staying safe out here, drinking y'all water, staying hydrated, man. Hey, remember, just live for real. Just live a normal life. Do the things that you like to do for fun. Just live. But give me a fist bump. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.